Sean Meyers of the Westmoreland Sports Network, joined by Mike Brown, former football coach for Hempfield Area, and now the new man guiding the Norwin Knights football program. And first off, Mike, congratulations. I know you have to be very excited about this development. And the first question I have is what led to this decision?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I think the biggest thing, is looking at it. It's always tough, to leave a place where you kind of, started out, which it being my first head coaching position. It was a tough decision to make, but I looked at it with myself and my staff, as the best thing, might for us, and we're excited. We're kind of looking, at the future, and we're excited, to get involved with Norwin and trying to, get that program back on the map and, get going.
Let's focus on your 2-year stint at Hempfield Area. Obviously, this past year, it was a roller coaster. You achieved great success winning the first 5 games, basically rewriting the record books through those 5 games. Had a 4-game losing streak that kept you out of the playoffs, finished with a win, however, 6-4. How did you evaluate sort of the up and downs of your time at Hempfield, in particular, this past season?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great season. We started off, like you said, they broke a lot of records, at Hempfield, but I think that's because of the student athletes, especially that senior class that was at Hempfield. Those kids worked extremely hard. I think I told them, in our final meeting, we kind of as a staff gave them a blueprint of, how to be successful, but they did the work. They put the work in all off season and into the season. And, I'm forever grateful for them, believing in us, believing in a staff, and kind of working their tails off of whatever, we asked, they answered. And I think the biggest thing that really caught my eye is, everything was going right. Everything was going great. And then we hit, a bump, at the end of that season. Things weren't going our way, but they continued to show up and fight. And, again, I am forever grateful. It was a great 2 seasons with them. I couldn't ask for much more. And, we were really excited, to finish on a winning note.
Well, you mentioned about meeting one last time with the players. Why was that important to you?
I owed it to them, just kind of saying about how they, did everything, we asked for. I felt that I owed it to the kids, to see it face to face before they saw, everything on social media or hearing, I guess all these gurus that are around saying, this person's going there. And I wanted them to hear it from my mouth because they did. I owed it to them, and I wanted them to know that, I am forever grateful, creating those relationships with them.
Let's talk about Norwin. What was appealing in particular about the Knights position?
To be honest with you, growing up in PT, they were always, right down the street. So you always knew about them. And the one thing that kind of people don't kind of realize is my grandfather, he taught at Hempfield for his career at Hempfield. And he was actually a school board member at Penn Trafford. But I always knew about Norwin. I always knew, about the kids, about the community, about the school. And that was one of the appealing things to see, what they had going on. So, I always had my eye on it, especially during my career. And, when it opened up, I definitely became interested in it.
So one of the interesting aspects of this is obviously Hempfield and Norwin play each other. We mentioned you went out on a winning note at Hempfield. That came against the Knights. And I don't know, I think most people would agree that it's probably a rivalry between the two schools. So now being from one side to the other, how do you think that dynamic will go?
I mean, it is a dynamic, but, I know some people aren't going to agree with me, but it's not about me. And I kind of told, the players at Hempfield about that. It's about the players. It's about, getting to suit up every single Friday. And, there is going to be a time where, it is Hempfield and Norwin, but, I don't have the focus on myself. There's a lot bigger aspects to it, but now it is fun because of different storylines like that. And that's what creates a rivalry, I guess. And, we're excited now to be on the other end of that rivalry and hopefully, it comes out our way.
Well, we mentioned some of the similarities, obviously geographically, but Both teams, Hempfield area before you got there and Norwin recently as well, have struggled, losing records, not regularly making the postseason. So you've already made pretty significant strides during your second year at Hempfield area. How do you have that same blueprint in Norwin, and what are ultimately the goals that you have with this program?
Yeah, I mean, one thing too is, being at Hempfield now, and my staff, we can kind of see what things went well, what things, we need to work on, and what things we can, kind of sharpen up. So, we're going to have a plan. We're going to meet very soon, get everybody, acquainted with the staff, get myself around Norwin as much as possible, whether it be, going into lunchrooms or whether it be having a meeting, with them, being at basketball games, wrestling matches, baseball games, anything that we can, get our face out there and, show them that, we're all in for Norwin football and get that back to, that winning tradition we're going to do. So I'm very lucky that I have a great staff. I'm going to put together a great staff at Norwin, just like I did at Hempfield, and I'm going to be able to rely on some great people, to help along the way to create that program.
What's the time frame for when you get your staff finalized and then when you start working with the prospective football players?
Yeah, I'm going to try as soon as possible. I have a great administration at Norwin that's willing to work with us, and hopefully we can get the guys in sooner than later. I know everybody's gung-ho about it. I'd start now if I could, but I know sometimes, there's different things that need to go on, to get a staff, ready to go. But as soon as Norwin and the administration allows us, we're going to get in front of them. We're going to start with a great weight program over the off season, whether it be in the winter and the spring, but then we're really going to tune everything up, starting in the summer, getting the kids on the field, getting different terminology set and different sets that we run with our personnel and get them really acquainted to what we can do so they can, start playing fast and physical. Lastly,
what's the message you have to the Norwin community?
I'm thankful. I'm thankful that they're going to believe in us, but the one thing that we're going to show this community is it's going to be a program that they're going to be proud of. I'm not saying that it wasn't before, but we're going to do everything we can. We're going to work extremely hard. And we're here for this program. We're here for this community and for the school. And we're going to be together. We're going to be one program, whether it be from 6-year-olds all the way up to 96-year-olds. We're going to be one program. We're going to be one voice, and hopefully we can get things going.
Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.